Summer routines live or die by how easy they are, and honestly, if something takes too much effort, I'm out. That's why Groons is my go-to. It's my one daily pack of gummies covering my greens, vitamins, and minerals. Plus, it has 6 grams of prebiotic fiber, which is more than 2 cups of broccoli. No mixing powders, no giant pills, no hassle. I just rip open the pack and I'm done. They taste good and they make it easy to stay on top of my health, even when life gets busy. Save up to 52% with the code PODCAST at Groons.co. That's code PODCAST at GRUNS.co.
Welcome back to TalkNorth.com. Our special for our listeners this week, go to BiteSquad.com or the Bite Squad app, enter WILD 2018. WILD 2018, all caps, WILD 2018. You'll get 10% off your Bite Squad order this weekend only, Friday through Sunday. We're really targeting the Wilds games this weekend and the Vikings at Bears game. So order a lot of food, you get 10% off. The more you order, the more you get off. Thanks to BiteSquad.com, and thanks to our listeners for helping us out with this one. Welcome to Delano's Pizza and the Russo-Souhan Show. I'm Jim Souhan here with Michael Russo of The Athletic. You might have heard of him. We are at the downtown location of Delano's. It's on 4th Street, really close to Ramp C, really close to Target Center, Fine Line, all the cool places in downtown Minneapolis. Delano's Pizza also has a location in Woodbury. Please patronize them. We have a big crowd here tonight. Appreciate everybody who shows up, everybody who listens to the shows. Thanks to our sponsors, Twill in the United Galleria, WizKids.tech, FixologyRepair.com, Tony Hoagland, your State Farm agent in Champlin. We also have a Bite Squad deal to tell you about later. Let's get to it, Michael.
Patronize has 2 completely different meanings.
So many English words do.
Yeah, but that is really, like, one is just offensive.
You're right. Okay, so I'm going to retract.
I'm going
to edit my word choice. You always patronize me, so don't patronize Delano's the way Michael patronizes me. Just show up and buy pizza.
First of all, I got to say, I cannot believe how many people are here tonight.
I know. Thank you all for being here.
Don't you all have something better to do on a Friday night?
Apparently not.
Than come to a freaking podcast?
You can tell by this crowd. You can tell by this crowd that these people are going to end up in a downtown club, listen to hip hop at about 3 a.m. Yeah. This is just how they start the evening.
Right over there.
Vicky's. I don't know what she's breaking it down. Maybe I don't know. Let's go with that. We have important hockey stuff to talk about, but we have really important Russo lifestyle stuff to talk about. Marriott has been hacked.
I know.
And Starbucks has a Starbucks for Life program. Your worlds are colliding in the international commerce.
That was funny today when Russo last tweet that
he knows you so well
that he was going through my credit card statements. Oh my God, that guy! He has two of his they're not gifts, memes, I guess that make me laugh. Are the one with. Well, this one's really offensive, but me like having they pull a hair fight with Patrick Waugh, but the one when I'm standing in front of John Tortorella. There's just, I don't know, there's something about it that makes me laugh. And he's going to be upset because I'm going to have to miss the Columbus home game. So in January I'm not going to be there.
What are your priorities?
Yeah, I'm going to Costa Rica.
Oh, good for you.
In the middle of the hockey season.
How about that?
Yeah.
I just talked to somebody the other day who went to Costa Rica and said it's incredible.
Yeah. So, yeah, Marriott was hacked. That's not good. Every sports writer in the country has to be a little concerned right now.
The good thing is we're sports writers. There's nothing they can steal from us. We have nothing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Our passport numbers are,
Well, if somebody's on your flight to Costa Rica in your seat with your name, you know the deal.
Yeah, then you mentioned, like right now it started yesterday. It's my favorite time of the year, the Starbucks for Life promotion, and I kind of find it cute that every single year I'll spend like $200 over the next like couple weeks just thinking that there's a chance I'm going to get Starbucks for Life. It's like the perfect scam for people that are addicts like me. I mean, Starbucks, they're sitting in their freaking Washington high-rise, and they're just like sitting there, and they're like, here's a funny idea. We're going to come up with this promotion called Starbucks for Life, and we're going to make probably quadruple what we make over the next 2 or 3 weeks with these freaking morons that are going to just absolutely spend a fortune just to maybe get 125 bonus points. So, speaking of which,
I think
right
you got
now,
the idea of listening to this podcast.
Yeah. So, speaking right now, I have an inordinate amount of free rewards. I have 25 free drinks or food items, but like 9 of them have to be used by January 1st. So, our next show here is December 12th. Which
December
is
12th,
at 6 p.m.
yes.
It's a Wednesday night. So I think what we're going to do is it's at 6 p.m. I think at 5 p.m. I'll put out a tweet to remind people. But the first X amount of people that meet me at the Starbucks right there at the hotel across from Target Center will get a free something. Because I'm going to have to use these up.
Free car?
No, free drink, free food item.
Disappointing.
Yeah, free latte, free sandwich, free something. So that'll be our next promotion for the December 12th show. And I'm not even kidding.
So 6 p.m., December 12th. We'll be here for our next live show.
You're not here?
Oh, Bob Seger. That's a good one.
Where? At Target Center? Oh.
You know, I'd heard about Bob Seger. He got to a certain point in his career where he just flew home every night. He never sleeps in a hotel anymore. He does a show, gets on his private plane, goes home, and spends a day or two at home before he goes to the next stop. Fascinating.
Do you think the average person that's sitting at home that listens to our podcast that doesn't come here gets a kick out of when we just have conversations with Vicky in the middle of the podcast?
Let's say yes.
Yeah. Like, nobody at home knows what's going on.
We're in
right
fantasy
now.
land here.
Yeah.
You know, we don't even know that people actually listen.
Yeah.
So let's just pretend that everybody likes it.
Yeah.
Okay, we will give you some red meat now. We will talk about the swoon very briefly. Thanks to
It's not
Brandon
a swoon
Morton.
yet. They've lost 2 in a row. You're so negative.
Good point. Thanks to Brandon Morton, our producer. If you'd like to advertise with us, we have a new email if you'd like to advertise with us, talknorthpodcast@gmail.com. Please download before you listen. And once again, Delano's Pizza, downtown Minneapolis. Great lunch buffets. I love their gluten-free pizza. Some of the best pizza in town. They just won a big award for being one of the 100 best original pizzerias in America. And if you want to order Delano's Pizza, go to delanospizza.com or call 612-767-9494. Okay, so you're saying it's not a swoon. It feels swoony.
Hey, if they win tomorrow night, they've won 3 of the last 5 games.
See, you're so positive.
Fun
I don't know
with
why
math.
LaPanta rips you all the time. You're
fun
so
with math.
positive.
So yesterday morning, I get down to the morning skate, and LaPanta and Gorg, the homers that they are like all over me because I had a tweet that said, can the Wild right the ship tonight? And they were just destroying me. And I'm like, look, first of all, let's just wait 8 hours, okay, because we all know what's about to happen tonight. They're going to lose. I mean, they rarely ever win in this building. And then they go home to play Toronto, the best team in the league. They potentially going to lose there, and then I'll just be ahead of the game. As usual, by the way.
And how did they take that?
They didn't take it well, but I was pretty heated. So,
well, let's try to
you know what I said? You know what I
tonight.
did, and this just shows you. Bruce was in the hallway during this. I said, you know what? Let's go up to Bruce right now and ask him. This is like with all the players around. So let's go up to Bruce right now and ask him what he thinks about the way his team's playing. This is what I'm saying to Gorg and LaPanta. And at that point, they were like, "Great, come in." because you think Bruce was going to come up to us and be like, "Yeah, boys, everything's great. We just lost to the worst team in the league, gave up 14 shots, and somehow lost that game in the third period." But yep, everything's perfect.
You've actually hit on one of my favorite things about this marketplace. It's when so many local media members try to find the positive, and like the coach or the players going, "No, we stink. No, we just got killed. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, like look, I'm all. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to call them shills, but they're
But it sounds like you just did.
So
wow.
Yeah. No, but it's just. I mean, like, come on. I mean, like. When they won 10 of 12, I wrote how great they were. But this is the way it works. When they start to suck, you write how they suck. I mean, that's just how it works.
Let me write this down.
That's the rule of sports writing. that was in page 1, if I remember that book.
What else can we get you fired up about? This is fun.
Nothing.
What's going on with Doobie?
I don't know. I will tell you that if he struggles tomorrow night, or tonight when this podcast comes out against Toronto. If he does, we will have a goalie controversy because I bet you Alex plays in Vancouver. Dubnyk will get tomorrow's game against the Maple Leafs, and if he struggles, I could see Stalock get 2 out of 3 on this next road trip. Bruce just isn't happy right now, and I think he probably challenged him today. From all I've heard, he didn't have a great practice today either. He doesn't look good right now. I mean, he was so confident and sharp and precision-like in net at the beginning of the year, on his skates, getting his body into position, letting pucks hit him, no rebounds, just perfect. And now he's just like, fish out of water in net. I mean, just even the first goal last night, lucky goal. But what happened 10 seconds before that? Guy shot from the wall, and it awkwardly couldn't make the save and rebound in front. Then he made a great save, but now it's just helter-skelter, and Jared Spurgeon, who's usually the most responsible guy, can't clear the puck, and it's a goal that Dudnik has no chance on. But it starts before that. But even all game, like, he just could not. He doesn't look sharp right now. And this is what happens when a goalie loses confidence. He'll get his game back. He always does. I just said on the radio. I think we all forget that, and this is no fluke, that since 2015 he's the second best goalie in the NHL in every statistical category. Except for shutouts, where he's first, by the way. And so, look, he's going to get it back, but right now it is concerning, and they are worried about him. I mean, I just know that for a fact. They are worried about him. This isn't just, last night, again, not his fault on pretty much any of the goals. Like, second goal. Like, I always look at, and maybe I am a bit of a goalie apologist, but I always look at, like, who effed up. And, like, I'm sorry. Like, Cam Atkinson stepping into a one-timer all alone in the right circle. Is that on Dubnyk? Or is that on Charlie Coyle, who is in freaking Dublin, Ohio? Where was Charlie on that play? Like, he was so out of position, it's absolutely ridiculous. And so, third goal again. Sorry, Eriksson Ek doesn't get the puck deep. Leads to Riley Nash getting his first goal of the season. Fourth goal, again, it's Panarin. He's standing alone with 4 defenders standing still in front of him. None of this is Doobie's fault, but it's almost everything around those goals that makes me concerned about Doobie, where even look at in Arizona, on the one power play after they cut it to 3-2, after the delay of game, even the great save he made on Clayton Keller, when you go back and you look at that save, it's pretty alarming how he got over. It's just, he's not in control anymore. So he'll get it back, but I just, he might need some practice time. So if tomorrow he's up against a hell of a challenge, and there's a good chance he gives up a lot of goals tomorrow, and then we're going to have to, see what happens in Vancouver. But I could see, I kind of think that Stalock starts that game anyway, because Bruce also he's kind of superstitious that way, where it's like maybe you start Stalock in Vancouver because Doobie started the last game in Vancouver and lost, and then you start Doobie in his hometown of Calgary, and then on the second of a back-to-back where Stalock won the last time they were in Edmonton, you play him there. So I kind of think it's almost leading to a situation where he could potentially lose 2 out of 3. So
more from goalie apologist Michael Russo after we thank Twill in the Edina Galleria, twillmn.com. I just bought some Stenstrom shirts out there to go with my Barber and Millar shirts, and bought a couple pairs of pants. I'm dangerous there when my wife goes with me. Check out Twill in the Edina Galleria, twillmn.com. Also Twill on Instagram.
Jim usually doesn't like to shop for clothes. I don't like it when he shops for clothes either, because he used to buy stuff I'd want to throw out. That's why I'm so glad he's found Twill in the Edina Galleria. He likes shopping there because of the comfortable environment and the friendly staff. He finds clothes that actually fit him properly and are high-quality brands that will look great for years, whether he's golfing or working. Our favorites so far are Peter Millar, Johnny O, and Barber. We spend our money at Twill because we love the clothes and we love the no-pressure shopping. Drop by Twill in the Edina Galleria for the best shopping experience and best clothes you'll find in the Twin Cities.
Yeah, I might end up in the concussion protocol the way you wave your hands around. You're kind of fired up tonight.
Yeah.
Did you have Starbucks on the way?
Yeah, a lot of it. Couple. And I made a pot at home this afternoon.
We do have a microphone over by Brandon. If you want to come up and ask a live question, do so at any time during the show. We like doing the live question thing. It's a lot of fun. We'll also do some Twitter questions here in a minute. How good is Stalock? Is he good enough to be number one?
I think that he's good enough to be a really good backup. But We've never seen him get that chance, but it's, you don't want to be kind of prejudiced against the small goalies, but goalies the size of Mike Vernon, John Van Beesbrook, Darren Pang, those type of guys, they just don't exist anymore, and Stalock goes that way. But I will say this, as I'm saying this, the first thing I'm thinking of is, like, if Doobie keeps on giving up goals upstairs, it doesn't matter if Stalock...
What size you are, right. Yeah.
It's like, you're going to go upstairs on either of the goalie. I think Stalock's somebody that can play, but I don't think he's somebody that's going to go... He's not Doobie. It's just not. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Uh-oh. Vicky has her
she
manifesto.
Not only has her cell phone.
She has her cell phone, she has a legal pad, and she has like 2 pamphlets. Vicky, it's only an hour show.
Counselor?
Fire away.
Okay. I'm pleased to be here.
We're pleased to have you here, Vicky.
Man.
Clyde is rubbing his head. I don't know what that means.
That's a prop. I have a couple questions from Philip. We'll start with Philip.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Josh and Luke.
Philip's getting the Russo slacks reaction now.
Are you
Only
ready?
with Russo slacks, it's kind of a bit.
Well, just wait.
All right.
Okay, Josh and Luke from Evolving Wild and EvolvingHockey.com have commented that if they were GM, they would trade just about any player and or asset to acquire Mark Stone. Same question to you, Mike.
What?
Who would you trade just about any player or asset to acquire?
Connor McDavid, Patrick Laine, Austin Matthews. I mean, are they kidding me?
Let's try people that
You
are
would trade
available.
Mark Stone is a UFA at the end of the year that's going to want Nylander JVR type money. If you're not sure if you're going to be able to re-sign him, you would give up any asset on the Wild to go get a rental? That makes no sense.
Well, it's your choice.
So I love Mark Stone. I think that Mark Stone should be somebody that they go after as a rental, but I don't think you give up any asset to get him. I mean, giving up any assets like, all right, we'll trade Zucker for him. Zucker, who's locked in for 5 years. Actually, this kind of sounds like a stupid fantasy trade I just made. I made the world's worst fantasy hockey trade a couple weeks ago, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Man, and where was I
Did
on
the
this?
Russo, the fantasy
No, I
world
wish
rip
I
you
had.
for it?
I wish I had my other voice telling me. All right, now I'm really fired up.
Well, Mark Stone aside.
I think that Mark Stone is. It's funny. I was telling an agent today. I don't want to tell which agent, but I almost just gave it away. I was telling an agent today that the second that Chuck Fletcher gets a job in Philadelphia, if I'm Paul Fenton, I'd call up Philly and call up Chuck and say, "All right, what do you want for Wayne Simmons?" But I will say this: if you think about it, I know for a fact that Chuck tried to acquire Wayne Simmons a bunch of times here, so you're probably not getting a Wayne Simmons from Chuck. So it was a good thought. But otherwise, they need a right shot. Not to, again, because I love the guy, but not to, again, depress everybody here, but what is Bruce Boudreau going to do with Niederreiter? He doesn't fit anywhere on this team right now. They need a right shot, right wing, and Nino probably needs to be gone. I don't know if you could trade him at 5.25, but regardless, they need – so now let's just say we all know that they need and are and will pursue a right shot, right wing. So that's Mark Stone or Wayne Simmons or whatever. If they get that, now where does Nino play? If they, it's just going to be interesting what happens here. He's kind of lost on this roster right now.
Well,
And then he gets a chance to play with, again, he's elevated from the fourth line last night. He gets the chance to get back with Parisi and Koivu, and he was not good.
I'm going to break up Vicky's hour-long monologue by thanking WhizKids.tech, WHIZKIDS.tech. Check out their billboard downtown Minneapolis on Washington Avenue. Managed IT, unified communications, cloud services. Let them be your chief technology ally.
Hello, Minnesota sports fans. This is Michael Thanner, founder and CEO of WhizKids. WhizKids is a Minneapolis-based managed IT, hosted VoIP, and cloud services provider. Businesses today require fast response times, skilled support staff, clear communication, and technology recommendations that align with their business goals. At WizKids, we do this each and every day with our clients. When you call into our help desk for support or work with one of our higher-level engineers on a complex issue, you'll find our staff personable and ready to roll up their sleeves to help you solve your technology problems. Reach out to WizKids today to find out how we can help your business meet your technology goals. Visit us online at wizkids.tech. That's wizkids.tech. WizKids, make it happen.
All right, Vicky, sorry.
Remember,
no, that's okay.
Ben's
I
behind
give
you
up.
also has, you can't take the mic forever here.
Well, I'm trying to
It's a
be.
filibuster.
I'm not the one doing all the talking. I just like to make that clear. Mark Stone aside, based on
I love Mark Stone, though. I
Okay.
don't disagree with their premise, but I don't think you give up unless you know he's re-signing here.
Well, based on who you know out there that's available right now,
Mm-hmm.
that we could trade anything for, who would you want us to go for?
I mean,
that's available.
it's hard to say because I know I got to think that this team is not close to a trade, and I've got to think that if that means you're getting closer to the deadline, which usually means rentals. And the rentals, I just said the two that are on top of my list, which are Simmons and Stone. They're not going after, and they're not getting William Nylander. In fact, I'd be shocked if Nylander's traded by 4 p.m. on the day that this podcast comes out. At this point, I could tell you that I talked to some Carolina sources the other day that say that they're out of it, at least as of now, at least that they think. Now, there could come a point here where Dubas just calls everybody, "Hey, what will you give me?" Just because he wants to get something for it. But I'm not. I think Dubas would sooner have him sit than he's going to resign tomorrow. That's what's going to happen.
Has Severance Guy opined the play of late? He has an impressive knack in the past for calling a turn of the tide of play before others recognized it.
I don't know. I miss him. I wish he would start coming to shows. He was on I saw him on a couple of either Twitter or comments on some stories the other day too. He and his wife, nice people.
Okay, I just have one more, but I have to refer to my notes here.
Yeah, my God. We should take a picture of this.
It's Russo slacks.
By the way, I know what you two are up to. There's no doubt that you sit
can
there
just read
and
that. That was just
you
a
give
thought.
him little scoops of what goes on at the podcast or what's going on in my life, and then he tweets me and freaks me out like he's watching. I'm well aware of that.
Is that true, Vicky?
I am a reporter.
You've been accused. What say you?
I like it.
Is that an admission?
He wants to know who
Is that
you
a non-denial denial?
No, he and I are partners in crime these days.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
an admission. It's an
Admission.
admission.
And I won't
So-
tell you who our target is. So
Him?
anyway, but he does want to know which Wild player you think is going to be playing for Toronto tomorrow night.
It won't be Dumba. I think Spurgeon's a little concerned it's him. Or maybe hopeful. I don't know. But it's not. They're not trading Spurgeon, and I don't think they're trading Dumba. So,
Too bad.
yeah.
Okay.
There was a false alarm today where I was chasing that the Wild might have been back in it, but as far as I could tell, there's zero chance.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I don't think I actually don't think that they really, after digging into this guy, don't want him. I don't think he's the most popular player on the Leafs before, and I certainly don't think he's going to be exactly popular coming back. And he's just, I think this whole lockout, like I was talking to a couple agents today that are just mystified by what he's trying to accomplish here, because it's not like the old days where you could hold out and make this money back. Like, he is not going to make this on it's just insane. Their strategy here from the beginning.
Good job, Vicky. Way to get him fired up. Yes,
I'm
sir.
not fired up. I'm calm.
Yes.
Mike, I had the spaghetti for you, by the way.
Oh, nice. How was it?
It was very good.
Yeah.
So,
That's
yep.
good.
We've gotten really good reviews on the spaghetti here. By the way, reminder, Jared makes the owner makes his own proprietary red sauce here, which is great on pizzas and spaghetti and everything else.
It's all fantastic. Anyway, I was wondering, watching the games, and I'm not going to pile on Joel Eriksson Ek or want to give up on him yet. Mm-hmm. But I know we were talking about right shot, right wing being in need, and the more I'm watching this team, the more I'm thinking, because I think I'm confident the Wild they're going to rebound, and
right.
I think we're a good team that will make the playoffs. But if you think, regardless of going to the postseason, if you're sitting there as Paul Fenton and you're looking at the top 9 center position on this team, it's like, do you really think you're going to get anything out of the third line with Eriksson Ek in the postseason? And it's like one of those situations where if you – I don't know how you feel, but like I kind of feel maybe we should do what we can to maybe get a top 9 centerman in here. Not knowing exactly what's on the market.
Well,
but,
I thought what you were going to say was maybe use him to get a right wing, and what I was going to come back at you at is I think it's very dangerous for a team that has very little depth at center to trade Eriksson Ek.
And I agree.
I would agree if you're going to trade him, you better get a center back.
Yeah.
Because it's concerning. I mean, Koivu is probably done here in 2 years, and Stahl, I think he's going to re-sign at 3 years eventually. I will say there's been 0 contract talks, but I think that he'll get a 3-year deal to stay here. Which is probably an extra year more than the Wild want to give him, but that's what's going to probably take for him to take lower base salary than what he could probably or definitely get on the open market. But then you're talking about who's replacing them. So yeah, I do think centers. I think when Paul looks at his team, he sees that eventually he's going to have to get much better up the middle. And eventually, maybe Kaapo Kähkönen is that guy, but a goalie of the future as well, because Dubnyk's not getting any younger, and Stalock's not the goalie of the future. So those are the big things. So, but I would agree. Look, Eriksson Ek, somebody said on Twitter the other day, James Shepard, that James Shepard was better. I think you're forgetting who the hell James Shepard was. I mean, James Shepard showed me nothing ever.
Yeah.
This guy, you could see flashes of being a good player, but the problem is that he kind of is what he is. He's a very good forechecker that so far hasn't accomplished anything. He's not accomplishing anything offensively. He's good defensively, but I'm sorry, man. Like yesterday, like I'll handle the 21-year-old that can't score in the NHL yet because I've seen it before. I watched Olli Jokinen develop into somebody that couldn't score into suddenly being a 30-goal scorer, all-star, and things like that. It takes time. And I don't think Eriksson Ek is going to be this feeble offensively for the rest of his career. But if you're going to be this feeble offensively now, you better get that freaking puck deep last night rather than turning it over late in a shift and having all those guys come back at you and score the back-breaking goal and eventual winning goal. Like, it's unacceptable. And that's the type of thing that if I'm Bruce, I will say, sorry, now you are sitting tomorrow night. I wouldn't play Matt Hendricks over him. I'd call somebody up. But, like, that's unacceptable. He needs to be taught a lesson about that last night. And more so than don't do it again. Like, it's unacceptable. So, but the problem is that line is actually spending a lot of time in the offensive zone and playing well. They just don't score. Part of it's because Eriksson Ek doesn't aim correctly. For lack of a better description. That
was like in-depth hockey terminology right there.
Well, I joked on Twitter the other night, great play by Coyle. Unfortunately, they don't put the puck in the corner anymore for Eriksson Ek to shoot at. So,
well, and that's why I agree. I'm not talking about trading him yet.
Yeah.
I don't want to give up on him. I just your point is, you're right. I mean, they probably could use a center going to the playoffs. For sure.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
One last comment I'll make.
But it's a lot of time until then. Like, we could see, a raise in Eriksson Ek's game here, a rise in Eriksson Ek's game here for the next little bit.
For sure. And one last comment I was going to make, too, is I used to know, like, if you can make a significant trade, because I think the defense, last few games notwithstanding, I think that the talent in the top 6 we have is the strength of our team.
Yeah.
So it's hard to see how, like, I appreciate the job Fenton has in his position. I think it's really tough because I wouldn't want to trade any of those 6.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and they haven't been very good lately, but the one thing I'll tell you about this team, and this is why, again, Dubnyk needs to be better. I mean, it's like 7 or 8 games in a row, I think, that they've given up fewer than 30 shots, and yet they've lost 5 of those games. So Doobie needs to be better. Their blue line does need to get back to improve. I would put immediately Spurgeon and Brodin back together. But Suter also needs to start playing better. He's concerning right now. I did not like his game last night, and I haven't liked it for the last 2 or 3.
So if you're going to order Delano's Pizza, go straight through Delano's Pizza. Go to delanospizza.com or call the direct number, either the downtown Minneapolis location or the Woodbury location. If you're ordering other food this weekend, we do have a Bite Squad deal that's special for you just this weekend. It's through the Cheryl Reeves Show on my network and celebrating the Gopher Volleyball NCAA playoff berth. Use Gophers VB. VB is in volleyball. Gophers VB anytime between now and Sunday night. You'll get 10% off your Bite Squad order. And also we want to thank our friend John Hedges here with Fixology Repair, fixologyrepair.com. Locations 3rd floor of the Mall of America and in downtown, not far from us in the Skyway, just south of the Wells Fargo Center. John's partnered with Seiko. He has doubled his Seiko inventory. He has a full assortment of Pulsar watches, and he now has Kenneth Cole and Guess watches that are marked down for the holidays. Check out either location. The one in the Mall of America is bigger, even more options, but they have a lot of they have the ability to fix your stuff wherever you go, which other location you go to. I stumbled over that, but I think people got the idea. Thanks for your patience, John.
There are some things in life that you just can't live without. Now, whether it's a special piece of jewelry, a watch, or even your smartphone, you want it in working condition. At Fixology Repair, we are committed to restoring your pieces so that everything works or fits the way it ought to. Watch servicing, chain repair, and broken screen replacements are just a few of the services that we offer at our 2 locations, Mall of America and the Skyway in downtown Minneapolis. Please visit us at fixologyrepair.com or at fixologymn on Twitter to learn more. Mention this ad and get a 10% discount on our services.
Yes, sir.
I've got a quick question as it relates to team chemistry and as it relates to coaching and your experience in observing all the different teams. It seems as if 2 years ago, when Scott Stevens was involved with the Wild, the team had a different chemistry. Mm-hmm. And I'm presuming you're talking about somebody that is a Hall of Famer, mm-hmm. multiple Stanley Cups, one of the best defensemen in the industry. And so then he can convey to the players, this is how it's done.
Yeah.
You know, typically coaches are several generations removed from the game. And when you have somebody like Scott Stevens in there that's fairly current, you know, his word is gold, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. I just thought I'd just interrupt you. I just reminded myself of that James Shepard line when Jacques Lemaire retired, quote unquote, and Todd Richards took over, and I asked James Shepard about it. He goes, "Well, it's just nice to have somebody that's played the game." And I'm like, "Hold on, right. I can't let this continue." Jacques a freaking Hall of Famer. Anyway,
there were twins who didn't know Paul Molitor played.
Yeah. So anyway,
sorry
to interrupt you.
It's that dynamic. You've got several generations that are removed from the game. It's the same game, but it's different.
Yeah.
And so, is there any money in the coffers to bring in a Scott Niedermayer or a Nicholas Lindstrom or somebody that
mm-hmm.
can bridge that gap? And is that truly, really effective?
Well, I mean, you know, Niedermayer's in Anaheim. Lidstrom's not coming unless he ever went. You know, if he ever came, it's going to be Detroit. They have the money. I mean, it's not. Trust me, it was money. I think Scott left for a lot of the reasons that we're seeing. I think he just kind of recognized a lot of it was family. Yeah. But I think he also recognized that this team has got some issues. You know, I think Bob Woods is a tremendous coach, and I think their blue line has been great, and he does the penalty kill, and it's been great. They have Darby Hendrickson there, who pretty much runs practice in terms of that's not fair. Dean Evison was a great player. So, yeah, I mean, if they want, they could add somebody that's maybe a little younger and closer to their age, and but they do have that in the organization. They purposely try to always have somebody that was a former player, young, like guys like Bomber and Andrew Burnett work with the younger prospects. But, you know, there aren't just Hall of Famers out there that are going to suddenly just want to show up in Minnesota and coach. Now, I'm sure they can go get if they want, but I think right now, at least, Paul's, like anything, looking at his coaching staff and figuring out, all right, is this the group I want? Starting with the head coach, starting with Bob Woods, starting with Darby Hendrickson, and even Bob Mason. You know, Dean Evison will be here. Dean's his guy.
And that doesn't always translate, right? I mean, just because.
Yeah, I mean, Wayne Gretzky is the best player in history of the game, and he was a terrible coach.
Right. Is there examples in the NHL where that has kind of worked out, where?
Larry Robinson, where in terms of
just kind of having that bridge of
well, I will say what you're saying. Every team does seem to have that new kind of young guy. I mean, you know, Rod Brindamore was growing up with the Carolina Hurricanes as a coach, now as their head coach. Doug Weight, we saw that. Scott Gomez is on the Islanders bench right now. I think he definitely was with Weight. So every team definitely is trying to get that guy that can relate better to this next generation. Boudreaux's in his 60s. I do agree with you that they probably look at him sometimes and can't relate to exactly that. They broke the mold with Bruce. And the next coach, if it's not Dean Evison, will probably be much younger than Bruce. So.
And I just want to say this question here cost me 4 slices of pizza that my buddy just ate
nice.
off my plate.
Yeah.
So,
I get long-winded.
I have connections at Delano's that tell me that they will allow you to order another one.
Yeah.
It's a special deal just for you.
No, it's good stuff.
I will say these
Thanks for being
look
here.
Unbelievable.
I know they're great.
And they're just
I love them.
plop them right in front of us.
Fantastic. Good question. Thank you.
John. Haven't seen you in a while.
How are you?
It's been quite a
Good
while.
to see
you.
Busy, so
How
I'm
are
glad
ya?
to be back. So I brought my friend Fred. He's 92, and he used to take me to North Star
Round
games.
of applause for Fred.
Yeah.
Old-time hockey guy.
Born in 1926.
Yeah. So Fred used to take me to North Star games when we had season tickets to the North Stars when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
And we were at Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals when we watched the North Stars lose to the Penguins. That was a big disappointment in our lives. Now, Fred, since his old age, has since gone blind, which might be the best way to watch the Wild these days. But
Well, you went a long way to set that up.
I did. But Fred's question is, he misses old-time hockey, and he wants to know which Wild player has the ability to separate the man from the puck and actually check somebody nowadays, because it's turned into a much softer, more European hocky game. He misses fights.
Yeah, I'm not saying the fights, but
he misses fights.
Yeah, it's a no-hitting league now. You're
Yeah.
right. It's again, last night in the neutral zone, there were some routes taken by both teams, and I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe that these players skate this way, and there's not one part of them that even worries that they're going to get hit. Like you just mentioned Scott Stevens. What Scott would do to some of these guys in today's game, they'd never do it again.
They wouldn't be playing for weeks or months.
I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, and it's every one of them, and they all just peel up. It's just like your fair game, man. I remember what was it, a couple of years ago. It was one of the greatest hits I've seen in a long time when Brad Marchand was skating into the offensive zone and PK Subban it was like a wall, just smacked Marchand. He was dazed and everything. And I was like, that is old-time hockey. And everybody thought that PK actually should have gotten a penalty. And I'm like, clean hit, just old-time hockey. So in terms of the Wild, I mean, Foligno, I think fair. Hopefully Greenway will get there one day. They don't have a Clutterbuck type guy anymore. But one guy that does it in a way that's not exactly the old-time big hit hockey, but I mean, is there anybody better than separating a guy from the puck than Parise and protecting a puck than Parise? So
is it just not a priority anymore, league-wide, or
it is. I think it's the European influence. It's I think a lot of it. I personally feel this is where I now sound like a dinosaur. But I personally feel it's the fraternization of these players during all these lockouts. They all became buddies. They all play together in World Cups. They all hang out together in the summers. They all know each other. I see them after games. And we're like, you hear stories from the Denny Potvins and the Bobby Clarks about what it was like to go to an All-Star game back in their day. They didn't speak to each other. Like Bobby Clark would have a stall next to Denny Potvin and not talk to him. And it's a different thing now, and I think that's part of it too. Is that I mean, remember the lockout in 2012 when they got up on stage in New York City and all the players are on stage together before Donald Fair, when he lied and said the lockout was ending the next day, and it was a bunch of crap. So that was in it was mid-December that year.
So what you're saying is we just need some animosity.
Well, I mean, I think that's just part of it. I think it's the European style. I do think it's the league trying to get rid of headshots, which I'm all for.
Absolutely.
I do think that they have. That's why I will say, I am an apologist for the Department of Player Safety. I think they've done a great job. I don't want to see I covered Cam Stewart getting knocked out when he played with Florida, not Minnesota. Kevin Dineen elbowed him in Ottawa at the blue line, and I still, honestly, I tell Cam every time I talk to him on the phone. He's an agent these days. I tell him I still have that vision of you convulsing before you even hit your head on the ice, and I don't want to see those days anymore. And I think that the league has done a tremendous job of taking. That's why when Tom Wilson goes and elbows in the head, we all make a huge deal out of it because it's so rare in today's game. So I'm all for that. So I do think that people are erring on the side of caution. So I think all that together, headshots getting rid of, the lack of fighting in today's game, the European influence, the fraternization, the fact that these guys are all buddies, I think all that has led to the type of game that we see now.
I did miss the first 10 minutes of the podcast. Was that the first Florida reference?
I do think that
that might have been the first. Yeah. He saved it for you.
I made a Florida
terrific.
reference on Barrero earlier today. Yeah. Is it the second today, or you heard the Barrero one? I did that. Barrero, it was like a minute in. But I didn't say Florida. I was just referring to it.
I guess it still counts. It's easy for us to recommend Tony Hoagland as an insurance agent because Michael and I both use Tony for our insurance. Check out Tony Hoagland, Hoaglund. Works out of Champlin, but he's very easy to work with no matter where you might be in the Twin Cities or in the state.
Hey, Minnesota sports fans. This is your local State Farm agent, Tony Hoagland. I need you all to ask yourselves this question. If you're in an at-fault car accident and you are sued for $700,000, how much of that $700,000 will my current insurance company pay? If you are unsure or can't answer all $700,000, you need to give us a call. State Farm has been number one in car insurance since World War II and number one in homeowners insurance since 1964. For a no-obligation review of your current policies, call us at 763-421-4900 or check out our website at www.champlininsurance.com.
Barb,
thanks for coming out.
That's my mom's name.
Yeah, I know it is. I wish I would have got a chance to see her when she was in town.
Oh, she would have loved to meet you.
Is she going to be here?
She'll be back.
Back in town at all?
She's going to want to, I'm building a house. She's going to want to help me build that house.
Okay.
And tell you where it should be located.
Yeah. Sweet.
She'll did I tell the story on the last podcast when we were driving by? And,
yes.
Yeah, that one ticked me off. You guys have all heard that, right? So first thing she says to me when she first sees the house is that I'm going to regret it, which,
No, but do the mom voice.
Yeah, like, you're going to regret this. But anyway, no, the worst was, so the second time we were going back there, I decided to go into the community a different way. And we're driving by the community, and she looks and she goes, now that community, that's not a very pretty community. And I'm like, that's my community. And then it pretty much ruined the day.
Not that you never let anything bother you.
The whole way. It wasn't like I was angry at her. I was like, maybe it's not a nice community. So anyway.
I'm just wondering what's different with Mikko this year. It seems like he's getting in the right spot to get those.
Save for last night. And the Buffalo game. But for the most part, it's funny how I can just I know right away that Buffalo game. I actually rewatched that Buffalo game not because I wanted to see the collapse. I wanted to make sure that I was right that Mikko had the worst game I think I've ever seen him play.
That's kind of sadistic.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's sadistic or masochistic.
I just want to make sure that if I write this, it's not good. But you're right. He's been much better. Last year, defensively, he is somebody that where the analytic stats are really valuable to see how well he's playing. Because you definitely see when he's on the ice last season, I think we look at him sometimes because he wasn't scoring last year as well as he was 2 years ago, and that his face-offs were down. You just think he's always, he's being awful. And then you look at the numbers and you see how many, the lack of scoring chances, the lack of shot attempts, the lack of everything when he's on the ice, and it just shows you that he's still as good a shutdown center as there is in the NHL. And this year he's been really good, and he's getting points. Last night, not very good. But nobody was last night, even Stahl and Granlund, who had 10 shots and a goal, they should have had 5 goals with what they were generating. Everybody seemed off, and last night they were playing without a left wing, if you know what I mean. Everybody knows what I mean, right? Yeah.
You can say it out loud if you want.
Well, Zucker didn't have a good game.
Yeah.
So.
And so, what is going on with Zucker?
I don't know. It's concern. They need him to play well. And I will say, those guys, Zucker, Niederreiter, and Coyle didn't have a point in the playoffs, and those 3 guys have not been good. And Zucker has not been nearly as good as he was during his career year last year. So I still have a lot of belief in him, but he's got to take care of the puck better. He's got to move his feet better. He's got to not lead odd man rushes. So.
Thanks for being here, Barb. We appreciate it. Did Heather have a question too?
Heather was just
no,
the
she's
escort.
chaperoning. Okay.
Barb is, you might know Heather Rule. Heather Rule is one of the great freelancers in our area, both for the Star Tribune, for The Athletic, for a lot of outlets.
For pretty much everybody.
Yeah. She's going to have an awesome story on Tuesday on The Athletic. Actually, the way that things are going right now, so Zach Pierce is on paternity leave. So, like, say you, even though it's budgeted for Tuesday, if you file it on Monday, there's a chance it gets pushed Monday. Right now, it's like the people editing are just like pushing things like in a row. Like yesterday, I put like 8 stories in a row up, and I'm like, hey, we gotta hit timeout here. People gotta have a chance to read these stories. So, did I say all that out loud?
You said all that out loud, yeah. And we recorded it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna play it again.
You didn't just save that, did you? Oh, that was for like a. Yeah.
Brandon marked it down because he knows you're going to call him later and ask him to erase it, but we're not going to erase it.
That'll be like at the end of the show. Like, did I say that out loud? I got you.
Well, Barb and Heather, good to see both of you.
See, that just
Thanks
shows Brandon
here.
actually listens to the show. He catches those things.
He actually does.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
I know. It's kind of like Vicky and Clyde.
I don't know why you people put yourselves through this, but we do appreciate it. Let's do some Twitter questions. Feel free to come up if you have any more live questions. Biff Sticks. I know your buddy is Biff Sticks. Is this the beginning of the December, January, February swoon we've become so used to in the past?
Am I buddies with Biff Sticks?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just making fun.
I was like, maybe it's somebody that I know and I don't realize I know him. Because I do, like, there's so many people on Twitter. I'm like, I didn't realize that was you. Just thought of somebody. Anyway, I don't know. Swoon. They didn't really have a swoon last year. I mean, they were pretty consistent last year. They just got to get themselves out of it. I'm not ready. The one thing about Bruce, man, other than that year where he came here and he was like 1-8-2 at the beginning of the year with Anaheim, you look at his career, in his entire career, it's unbelievable the lack of losing streaks that he's coached. It's crazy. Like that thing that happened in March 2 years ago was such a abnormal thing for him. That's why he was like losing his mind because he had never dealt with something like that, especially at that juncture of the season.
From Josh, does the downswing encourage changes to be made to the team, or will Fenton give Bruce time to work the team?
I don't know. I mean, I think it helps. It's more information for Paul for him to realize that, or not maybe realize is the wrong term, but to realize what we all know. But I think that this is his first eyes on the team, and I think that he maybe started to believe, like we all did after the Winnipeg game, that this team is different, and maybe we're all seeing that it's not, and that this is what this team has done with our emotions for as long as the core's been together, and it's more information. We're going to see, like, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't get fooled the opposite way, that we're just like a Mark Stone away from winning the cup. So I think it's just more information. And I will say, like I said, I wrote it at the beginning of the year. Like, I don't think he needs to see more from Nino and Coyle to realize that these are two. I don't even need to ask him. He doesn't need to confirm it. We all have brains here, and I love the two guys to death. But man, we know that Coyle and Niederreiter are 1-2 on his list to trade. I mean, that's just 100%. So, and I think that he probably saw that within 5 games of the season that they needed to be probably 1-2 on the list.
Should we have a thesaurus sponsor the show, maybe?
Sure.
So when you kind of get stuck, we'll have one right here for you.
Realize. Well, I felt like we were just kind of like, by using the term realize, I was basically saying it like it's a fact that this team is become what it is here suddenly in the last 8 games, where maybe the other way was.
You might have already answered this.
I will say I'm disappointed in what I've seen the last 2 games, especially the Arizona game, because after that Winnipeg game, who I think we all would agree is probably the most cynical person watching the Wild, and have always said that after the last 2 years that they needed to eat into the core. I'm the one that freaking wrote a story after Winnipeg. You see, it's a different team, and then they go out and they freaking lay an egg against Arizona. So that's probably why I've turned a little bit back toward the real Russo.
Yes, sir.
Fred has a follow-up question. Fred wants to know how much influence Boudreau has in player acquisitions or trades.
Not a ton. I think that he talks to him, but it's a Fenton Curver show, probably with Shep in there to answer questions in terms of how it would affect cap and rules and things like that. But I think Bruce is I'm sure that there's some there's conversation. What do you think of this? Where could he fit in? But I don't think Bruce is somebody that is in the know in terms of that way. But maybe I'm wrong.
Owner influence?
I mean, he needs to know, especially if they're going to go up significantly in budget. He needs to know that stuff. But yeah, he's a fan and he's kept abreast of everything. I don't think that he says go do it. He did it with Parisi and Suter, but I don't think there's been much since then where he's like do it. I think it's more just being kind of like, hey, it's his team and being. I don't want to even say a sounding board, but kind of like, Harry, this is what we're thinking. So,
we haven't talked enough about the Fletcher to Philadelphia thing.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I do think that it's going to probably be close. I even think that I have heard that this is not something that just happened the last couple of days. That they have been talking to Fletcher for last little bit, and then made the move on Hextall. I think this is going to be an accelerated Paul Fenton scenario where, if when we broke the story at The Athletic that Chuck was getting fired, and in that middle of that story I said that Paul Fenton was going to be the front runner. I think it's going to be the same thing here where we know that Paul was the front runner, but then they went and did their due diligence and interviewed like 10 other guys, and then they circled back to Paul and Top Fitzgerald and eventually wound up with the guy that I think we all thought that he was going to get, that they were going to hire all along. I think it's going to be the same thing here. They'll do their due diligence only in a quicker way because they want to get a GM in there, talk to a couple other people, and then I think Chuck will be the guy. They want somebody with experience. That Philadelphia team's actually set up pretty well other than their complete lack of a goaltender for the last 20 years since, coincidentally, the days of Ron Hextall. That's something they've got to do. It's unbelievable. I don't know. I do think it's part the market. It's hard to be you think it's hard to be a Devin Dubnyk in Minnesota. It is hard to be a goalie in Philly. And they just flounder under the pressure, everybody. And it's been that way since the days of Ron Hextall. So that's his biggest thing, or whoever the GM is they're going to have to get a goalie.
I think Philadelphia and Boston are the two toughest markets in America.
Yeah, I would agree with you there.
From Shark, would Coyle and a pick to Boston for Danton Heenan work for Minnesota?
I would do it. I like Ryan Donato.
From Zim Tzu, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. What's the word on Belpedio?
Well, I did that Q&A with Tommy Curvers last week, and they like the way he's playing down there. The problem is that, at least as of last week when I did that Q&A, he was playing the left side, which is not his strength. But they have, strangely, in a professional hockey where there's not an abundance of right shot D, or they're at least coveted. The Wild have a ton of right shot D down there, so Belpedio's been playing his offside. But Belpedio hopefully will one day get up here. Could be the replacement of Jared Spurgeon in a couple years. They also drafted Philip Johansson, who's a right shot D. So if Spurge is gone in 2 years, they hope that they're going to be set.
We got about 5 minutes left in the show. I want to remind everybody, please download before you listen. If you'd like to advertise with the network or this show, you can reach us at talknorthpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks again to our sponsors, Delano's Pizza, downtown Minneapolis and in Woodbury, Twill in the United Galleria, WizKids.tech in downtown Minneapolis, Fixologyrepair.com, Tony Hoagland, your State Farm agent at Champlin. Also remember, this weekend only, use the promo code GophersVB, as in volleyball, GophersVB, to get 10% off your BiteSquad.com or Bite Squad app order. Yes, sir.
So the bug keeps going through the team. Last year we had measles. Now we've got the flu, the 24-hour flu. First of all, what is the training staff doing? Are they sanitizing stuff? I mean,
no, this is not.
That's the first part of the question. The second part is, did Dubnyk come back too fast from being out?
I mean, I definitely think that he was affected by it, but this all. Everybody that's gotten sick it's gone through their entire family, their kids, Parisi, Stahl, and Doobie. So that's the big thing. The pattern one was not the stomach. I don't know. It's a 24-hour bug, apparently. Thankfully, I haven't experienced it. But the training staff, I mean, they disinfect. They do everything they have. These guys are together all the time. But again, if you talk to any of them, none of the guys that don't have a family full of kids that were sick have gotten sick. So that's the answer there. Yeah. Was there another part of that? I can't remember. That's what I was saying. It's a 24-hour bug. So, I mean, he came back for one practice and he went in. But that shouldn't turn him into this. So.
One thing you were talking about earlier with that got me thinking was with the old-time hockey meal when you were talking about maybe sort of disappearing. I was thinking, like, with the Winnipeg game, that was one of the most fun regular season games I could ever recall in recent memory at XL. And because it just had everything, the scoring, obviously the comebacks, but I love the fights and even being able to, like, the pushing on the benches. I thought
that was
hilarious.
Hockey. Fred liked that.
And so it was just one of those situations where it's like, and I get that maybe like the players are friends off the ice, most of them, but yeah, I do sort of miss those old time days. And it's like, why does it just have to be Minnesota Winnipeg intra-division? It's like, why? Can we have more pushing and shoving and a little more acrimony? I mean, these guys are still competitors. So it's like,
Nate Prosser hasn't gotten to play this year. He usually creates that. Sealer's done it. I mean, this team, I think, is as I don't want to say, I'll just say abrasive as most teams in the league right now. I mean, they've got a lot of guys that'll do it. Foligno, their stick-to-itiveness, they stand up for each other. This is, they do it more than most. If you watch some other teams, you'd be really disgusted. I like your shirt. Florida Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
I watch them all the time.
Nice.
We should have a Florida Panther counter on our table here when we do live shows. And just flip it over every time you mention them.
I got a quick question. So you know a lot about the NHL, obviously, and all the organizations. If you were an 18-year-old getting drafted, what team would you pick to get drafted by and why?
Good question.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Thank you.
I mean, it really depends on like what type of personality you are as a person. Like we all know I'm not a winner. So I just want to go to a really nice, beautiful city. So I would pick Vegas or Arizona, Tampa. If you do want to like win and be excited and be a big market, or Tammy Panarin type doesn't want to go to Columbus but wants to, New York or Chicago, Toronto, hockey market, Minnesota, Toronto, Montreal. I neglected to mention Vancouver. You love how I can never just give one city. Like these questions, because I love so many cities. It's easier to tell you the cities I wouldn't want to be taken to.
St. Louis.
Yep, Buffalo. Trying to think any others.
Those are the worst.
Probably Edmonton, Winnipeg. Now I'm just offending people.
That's what we do here.
Vicky, have you been to Winnipeg? I don't mind it. Just wouldn't want to be drafted there.
Question from
Jacob. I get to get on a plane and leave. I think we should cut all this out, by the way.
We're leaving it all in. And by the way, when he said, we know I'm not a winner, Brandon, we're going to save that, right?
I actually like Winnipeg. Okay. I actually do. I know I like Winnipeg.
Backpedaling. From Jacob, that's skating backwards very effectively right there. From Jacob Burkhart, why is there not a college hockey stadium series? I bet there would be a few people out there who would drive to Minneapolis to watch Gopher Bulldog games outdoors. Even UND fans would drive.
Probably the cost of putting the rink down. The Gophers did play, outside. It's usually like Notre Dame will play outdoors against maybe BC. I can't remember. Like usually what the NHL does is that they usually donate their rink, essentially keep it up an extra week, and they'll let the college teams play there. So,
do you have a final thought, or should I get another Twitter question?
Yeah, go Twitter.
Taylor Brett asks, any update on Sokolov's conditioning? How is chance of making the big club?
Well, Curver's raved about the way that he's playing down there and that he's starting to learn down there. He's not close or anything, but they believe there's a player there that they can untap.
Jeff Schultz, friend of both of ours, asked who will be left unprotected for the next Atlanta expansion draft.
One of the best columnists in the country. Worked at the Atlanta Constitution forever. Covered the originally beat writer for the Atlanta Thrashers. Now he's at the Athletic. That's funny that they're going to get a third hockey team.
Yeah.
I said the only thing we know is that John Anderson is going to coach him. So
yeah, good
you
stuff.
look exactly like Paul Steigerwald, the play-by-play guy for the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's kind of like popped in my head like 1,000 times every time I look over there. So.
Don't worry, he means it as a compliment.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it.
By the way, you want to hear something else? I can't wait to tell him tomorrow. So today I'm watching TV and they showed Paul Manafort essentially doing like his perp walk all day, and one of the lawyers. You got to see the video of this. One of the lawyers looks exactly like Brian Murphy from the Pioneer Press. Like it's unbelievable. I can't wait to tell him that. I got to take a screen capture of it. It's hysterical. Like at first I thought why the hell is Brian Murphy walking next to Paul Manafort?
From J.K. Gnosis, what is your opinion on playing Suter 3 to 5 minutes less?
So you're going to play Sealer and Patterson much more? I just think that they need to balance it out. For the most part, Suter's ice time has been down this year. He's been in the 24 to 25 minute range. There have been a couple where he's gotten up there, and that has kind of inflated the average ice time. But if he's gonna right now, he is not on top of his game, and so if that's the case, maybe you need to limit it a little more. But if that's the case, you need Brodin and Dumba to play better. I will say what concerns me since they've broken up the pairs is how bad Brodin's playing, because he was playing so well, and his game has definitely taken a turn for the worse. And I don't want to let him off the hook. And I said that to somebody the other day, and they kind of pinned it. Well, it's because he's playing with Dumba, and I'm like, no. I watched that game that he was a -4, and he made as many egregious mistakes as Dumba. Now the breakaway goal to Arizona, I'm sorry, that is Dumba's fault, but the third goal, the tying goal, that's a board battle that Brodin's got to win. And he didn't. To Brad Richardson, who's amazingly still playing hockey.
That was a good show.
Was it?
You did well tonight, yes. You were fired up. It was good stuff.
Starbucks for life.
That's right. So our next live show, December 12th, 6 p.m. here at Delano's Pizza downtown. And if you don't already know, it's 118 North 4th Street, Minneapolis. Their phone number is 612-767-9494. You can use that to order. Go to delanospizza.com to order, and you can order in Woodbury. And because they have two stores, one in Minneapolis, one in Woodbury, they have a very large delivery area. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to all of our listeners. Do you have a final thought?
I was just thinking, could you imagine if I did get Starbucks for life? How that would really...
It wouldn't change anything.
I wouldn't last to 92. I can tell you that.
You're not lasting to
Guaranteed.
92 anyway, buddy.
No chance. So, yeah, I won't tell it.
Tell it. You can't tease us.
I can't tell it.
Oh, all right.
I'll kind of say it without saying. This is gonna. Some money that I just kind of made was accidentally put into my 401k. And so I was trying to get it rectified by the company, and my reasoning was because let's be honest, it's not like I'm ever going to be able to cash into that 401k. like what's the chances I'm making it to 65, right? So I'm like, I'd like that to be rectified, so I just kind of get the money now. But that was my real reason. They're like, well, is it really a big deal? I'm like, well, kind of is. I know, but you have better genes. Can you imagine 1926?
Now you're insulting your mother
that's
again.
Unbelievable. That's crazy. That's I can't even imagine.
You're less than half his age.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, I'm just doing the math. That's all.
Sports writers shouldn't do math.
No, very
Did
good
you
point.
write some story the other day about the Gophers?
I might have, yes.
That ticked people. Oh no, you liked it, right? What was it? So Dom over there sent me a text to tell Souhan that that he really liked your column, and I refused to send it to you to inflate your ego. That's what I told him.
We need to keep it in check. There's no question about it. Yeah.
So
Michael Russo telling somebody they need to keep his ego in check. This has become a comedy program.
Yes, that's a good point.
Hey, thank you all for being here. Big crowd. Give Michael a hand. Give yourselves
why
a hand.
doesn't Russo Slacks ever come to these shows? What is that about?
I think he's intimidated by you. Oh, Vicky's working on getting Russo Slacks here. So
Where does he live?
Well, it's something western suburbs.
40 miles. People come all the time. People come from Grand Rapids to this show.
I don't know why I ever try to end this show. The show
Iowa?
doesn't really ever end. We just take the microphone away from Michael.
Remember the kid from Iowa that came to all the shows
Yes.
at
Hell's Kitchen. Yeah.
Hell's Kitchen? Yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to keep rambling?
I mean, he's probably building a Photoshop right now. That's why he can't spend 30 minutes in the car driving here.
I end the show, and he spends 5 minutes ripping Russo Slacks.
Don't you think? I mean, he always makes fun of my final thoughts. Don't you think it's the best final thought I've ever had?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Now we can end the show.
Pretty little city built on a hillside. Music in the bars and fire in the sky. We went to the beach and it was covered in ice. And I used to call it home. So much coming out, there's nothing going in. I know that you feel like you're never gonna win. Oh, but the world won't forgive a winner.
We all know I'm not a winner.